Steve, as a senior pastor of a vibrant biblical church, you speak to issues from the pulpit, and you have a functioning, active civic ministry called Faith Votes Community Impact Team. Why do you do that?
Well, you do that because the congregation needs to be informed. There's no one with busy lives that can keep up with all of the things that are going on. So if you want people to vote, you want them to vote biblically to make a difference in the day, you need to equip them to do that. And that's what our Faith Votes team does.
How has that affected the church? How would you say it's impacted the body?
Oh, I think it has affected the church greatly.
Positively?
Oh,
negatively?
my goodness. So if when you think about if you're going to address the day, number one, as the senior pastor, you've got to get over being labeled political and don't even bother about fighting that one. You need to decide that these are moral issues, godly moral values. And so if that's your base, that's your foundation, then the question would be, how then is the congregation, how do we equip them to be able to make a difference at the ballot box, in conversations, in standing on the issues in the community? So one of the ways, for example, in the last election, I think it was right after the first weekend when early voting had started, just a few days. So in all of the services on Sunday, I said, if you have already voted, please stand. And 70 to 80% of every service had already voted in early voting. Our Faith Votes community team, they deserve the credit for all of that. I mean, I push it from the pulpit. I teach on these issues. But these are the folks who put everything together that we need to inform the people.
So you would encourage other pastors to do this as well?
Absolutely. And the key to this is finding some folks in the congregation who they have this interest. And so, lay out some guidelines for the things that you want them to do, and then release them to do the research. They can run those results back by you, and then put out something to the congregation. And we do that simply by laying their report on the chair, every chair, whenever they give out a report. And so the congregation can read it, it's informed, it doesn't take time out of the service, unless it's something really, really important that I feel like I need to address.
Wonderful. So it's not just a freestanding ministry where these people are out doing their own political thing. It's a functioning ministry team under your leadership in the church that operates as a servant to you as a pastor and to the body.
Yes, it is. They meet every other Saturday. If there's some kind of special need, they could meet more often, but they meet every other Saturday. And so the whole team of them gather together, and it's people who have like minds. This is the thing they really like, and it has been a tremendous benefit to our congregation.
That's wonderful. Well, our purpose with bringing this to light is that we are encouraging pastors to start these ministry teams. And as Steve said, the leadership starting point is what we call the 3 C's: called, capable, and committed. And that if pastors find that person in that team in your churches, and then our role as a ministry of the Pastor Council is to help assist you with training, with support materials as pastor and as your team, and to connect you together with other pastors doing this as well at the city level. But it's important, and I think they're going to close out with asking Pastor Steve just to give a charge to pastors in the nature of, is this separate from the gospel, or do you see this as part of our charge of a mission of the church?
Well, we live in America. Some have said this is the great experiment. It's the longest lasting one in the history of the world. And we are exceptional, not because we're better, but because we have a system of government that doesn't start at the top, starts at the bottom. So in America, The people are the king, not the president, not the governor, not the mayor, not the people who want to be and think they are. The people are the king. And so if the people are the king, we are putting representatives in government to speak for us. We should put the right people. We're in a mess because we put the wrong people. And so at every level, from school boards, I mean, how did we end up where we are with this evil day? Well, it went through the education system. So if we're going to take things back, we should elect righteous school board members who can stand. We should put righteous teachers in schools and so on, things like that. And so at every level, so in every church, in my opinion, pastors should lead the congregation in registering to vote every election. They should preach about people running for office, qualified people, putting themselves out running for office so that we have righteous rulers in the land. And if we will do those things, people will stay true to their convictions, then we will make a difference in this day. So we have a spiritual call, which is to pray. And that brings the kingdom of God to bear from a spiritual perspective. Our Father in heaven, holy is your name. Your kingdom come. We're calling the rule of heaven to earth. That's the church's call. It is also the church's call to be salt and to be light in the middle of a dark world. And those are both practical expressions of good, not just dealing with evil, but but of good displacing evil. Salt impacts the meat when you put it on. Light always invades and destroys the darkness. That's what we're called to be.
Amen. Thank you.